has made another one. You really know the thing. So, next topic we're gonna get into, man like David. D4V, I don't care how you spell it, bro. Anyway, so there's an update on his whole situation. Let's get straight into the video, man. We're gonna react. Big up Blackie Speaks each and every time. Let's go.
Story. Popular singer David, spelled D4VD, was arrested in connection with the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. But what's come out since then changes everything. The motive, the timeline, and what happened the last night Celeste was ever seen.
The thing is, yeah, people on Reddit already, like, they already cracked it, bro. Like, literally, I've been watching, like, a couple of videos now on Reddit. Their whole thing is, like, they knew that this girl's been around this youth. This girl's a minor, and she's around this weird youth. Like, why, bruv, like, the people around this youth should have been X'd out as well as him. Like, why have you got a young girl around you in your home, inviting her to your home? You're a disgusting youth, fam.
When David invited her to his home in the Hollywood Hills, and she never came back.
Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time.
Waste, man. He's a waste, man, bro. Literally 14 years old at that time. You're a waste, man.
Went to Mr. Burke's house in the Hollywood Hills. She was never heard from again.
And months later, in September 2025, that's when everything changed.
Police say the car had been at the lot for a couple of days. When asked about reports the vehicle is registered to 20-year-old singer David.
Because inside a car registered to the singer, investigators made a discovery. Remains found in the front trunk.
Of your car, like, that's mental, bro. How are you leaving, like, a body in your car? Like, that's disgusting.
Identified at the time, after sitting there for months, it was eventually revealed that those remains belonged to 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a teenage girl from Riverside County, California, who had initially been reported missing back in April 2024. Celeste had disappeared out of Lake Elsinore that same month. According to authorities, her family searched, put out flyers, shared her photos, asking anyone with information to come forward, hoping their daughter would be found. The family had reported Celeste missing from her hometown of Lake Elsinore, about 70 miles outside of Los Angeles. She was just a 7th grader, and Celeste had run away before, and at one point, she did return home. But after leaving again, this time, she never came back.
Disgusting, bro. Like, that's mad. That's a madness, fam. Like I said before, there's all Reddit stuff, there's videos out there on YouTube. All you need to do is just type it in and watch it yourself. Like, there was young girls on stream with this youth. This youth was just putting it in people's face, like, why for that? But he was just putting it out there blatant. Like, this youth don't care. He don't care about nothing. So why should anyone care? Do you get about his situation, bro? He's done. He's done. They need to do him up in there.
For months, there were questions and no answers about her whereabouts. But eventually, in September,
he needs that Ian Huntley treatment in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
2025, they would learn the truth that Celeste was no longer missing. She had been killed. And as her family was continuing to come to terms with that, things were only just beginning to unfold. Within 48 hours of Celeste being officially identified, investigators made their next move, executing a search warrant overnight at a home in the Hollywood Hills area, where David, D4VD, Burke, had been living. And from that point, the investigation started to unravel. But for the public, very little was known. Details were limited in this case, and questions kept coming up, until recently, because just recently, David was arrested in connection with the case, which sent shockwaves across social media and raised even more questions. But
after how long, though? After, like, what, 7 months, 8 months? Like, it took ages. So, come on, man, it's a madness.
But now, after all this time, the case against David is starting to become a lot clearer. We now know that he's now facing a first-degree murder charge, and now we actually have his mugshot. Let's just take a second and really look at this.
Yeah, it's a mad thing.
We now also have what they say was the motive, a timeline of what allegedly happened, and the evidence they claim to have. And when you put all of it together, this case becomes a lot worse than people thought. Now, to really understand how this even got to that point, we have to go back to on or about April 23rd, 2025, when, according to investigators, David invited Celeste to his home in the Hollywood Hills area. Celeste arrived, and according to investigators, this was the last time she was known to be alive. Now, up until this point, there had been speculation about the nature of his involvement with Celeste. And it's important to be clear here, we're talking about a grown man and a minor. According to investigators, that is no longer speculation. They allege that David was sexually involved with Celeste, and that this began when she was under the age of 14.
During the course of our investigation...
Yeah, that's disgusting. Let me stop it there. From when your name is mentioned in the same sentence as someone that's underage, you're already done from there. Like, your name shouldn't be even mentioned with anyone that's underage, bro. Like, there shouldn't be no speculation around that. There shouldn't be no, bro, what's going on there? There shouldn't be none of that around. There shouldn't be nothing. So from when there's anything like that, like, it's already what it is. It's literally already what it is. Do your investigations. Like, do what you need to do. Send man them down here to sort him out. Like, come on, bro, what's going on? This is a young girl. She's impressionable. She's vulnerable. You know, she came from like a broken home apparently, so she's mad vulnerable. Like, you just took mad advantage of her, and people were talking about it. People were seeing it. But what was being done? What was being done? Now look. Now look.
Detectives learned that she had been involved in a sexual relationship with Mr. Burke when she was a minor and he was an adult.
That's disgusting, bro. X him out, fam. Fight, like, literally, bro. Gunshot for them, man. They're straight.
But it doesn't stop there, because according to the criminal complaint, investigators say Celeste had at one point been living with David, and in their words, he had recurring access to her.
Like, what's all that about, bro? Like, that's what I'm saying. And worse, like, they're probably going off Reddit. I swear down, they're probably going off all the Reddit and all the videos, because you can clearly see the evidence there. You can clearly see it there, bro. Like, don't piss me off today.
Which meant this wasn't something distant or limited. This was direct access over a period of time. Now, when it comes to that last night Celeste was alive, this is when they say things took a much darker turn. They allege that at some point after Celeste arrived to David's home, she threatened to expose the relationship between the two, including the fact that it began when she was underage, which David of course knew could seriously damage his career. At the time, David was a rising mainstream artist, and just 2 days earlier, he had announced a Withered World Tour, a global tour set to take him across multiple countries as his career was continuing to expand, and that detail matters. According to investigators, this is where the motive comes in. See, investigators believe that once Celeste became a threat to David, after she threatened to expose their relationship, the situation escalated, and what happened next, they say, is where things went downhill.
Yeah, just a waste, man, from there, bro. Like I said, you shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence as someone that's underage, let alone to have been alleged in a whole relationship with them, and then they're gonna expose it. You know what kind of madness that's gonna bring, so you decide to end her life and then put her body in your car, in the trunk of your car. Bro, do they still do the death penalty in them states over there in America, car? What's going on with all of that?
Murder was committed for financial gain. As the evidence will show in court, the financial gain was for Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career.
Yeah, for him not to get exposed and all of that. So I'm saying, he's disgusting, bro. Like, look at the videos that's out there on YouTube. Look at all the Reddit stuff. Just look at it. You can see the, bruv. I might do a whole next video, you know. I swear down, and just show it. Car, you don't need to look and see. You need to look and see for yourself.
That Celeste was threatening.
They allege that after she threatened to expose him.
Like, look at your boots, like, do you know what? To each his own, innit? Because everyone's got their own style of fashion, so let me not even get at that, but you just look like a weird youth anyway, not even by your clothes, just look at your face, fam. You look like a weird youth. Like, trust me. Bro, gunshot for them, man, there, man, trust me.
The situation escalated into her murder. However, it didn't stop there. They allege that on or about May 5th, 2025, Celeste's remains were further altered. Her remains were later found inside a vehicle connected to David, of course, that we know, where they had been left for months, before finally being discovered at an impound lot in September 2025 in Los Angeles. And the evidence they have is what they say connects him to what happened to Celeste. Now, getting into the specifics, this criminal complaint against David also includes special circumstances. And these are very important because they make the case significantly more serious. According to the complaint, one of those is murder for financial gain. Another is the murder of a witness, with Celeste being considered that witness. And the third is what's called lying in wait, which means police believe the act was carried out in a deliberate and concealed manner.
Yeah, he's overcooked. He's gonna be, listen, they're gonna burn him in there. Like, about cooked. He's burnt. Literally. Like, because he takes all of them factors. Like, to me, all of them factors are ticked. You know? Allegedly, until he gets found guilty. But yeah, let's keep it going.
Complaint also alleges that David personally used a deadly weapon, described as a sharp instrument, in what happened to Celeste. In other words, they allege a sharp object was used in the killing of Celeste. Now that lying in wait part, that's important to understand. Because in legal terms, it's not just about what happened. It's about how it allegedly happened. Lying in wait basically means someone waits, watches, and then carries out a surprise attack. In other words, it suggests planning and it suggests intent. Now if you try to picture this for a second, Celeste shows up to the home she was invited to by David, not knowing what she's actually walking into. And according to authorities, what happened next was anything but expected. They allege this wasn't random, but something that involved waiting, concealment, and a deliberate act in what happened to Celeste. And legally, that makes the case much more serious.
Yeah, like, it's all mad, man. Literally, it's all mad.
Because when or if prosecutors are able to prove something like that, it can elevate the charges and significantly increase the potential consequences. Now,
yeah, he's cooked, bro. He's done. He's done. Literally. I don't think we even need to get into any more of it. We know that he's cooked. We know for a fact. Do you get it? But allegedly for now, until, you know, this all goes to trial and, you know, all the evidence comes out. And it's mad that he's got to bring up the family, because apparently the family's at the court. So it's mad that he's all got to, you know, say all of the stuff in front of their family. Imagine this about your teenage daughter. She just turned to a teenager. Like, rest in peace to that young girl. Yeah? And you got to go back to court every day and relive that and then see, like, your daughter was going to this youth's house. Like, I don't even know how to feel about that. I'll be so real. So just, I don't even know. But all I know is it's a mad thing for this youth. Literally. The Ian Huntley treatment. You know, I'm not condoning no type of violence or nothing, but, you know, it is what it is. Literally. But we're gonna follow this case. We'll follow this one still, but I want to see what happens to him. Like, we need to see how long he gets. But let me know your thoughts and whatnot in the comments and how you're feeling about the whole situation. That's about it from me. I'm out.
Hey, oh, you don't want no smoke. Hey, oh, you don't want no smoke. Hey, oh, you don't want no smoke. You don't want no smoke.
Smoky settings for you and your presence, then man and whatever. Get Caesar and pepper, she giving out clever. That knowledge that all the above getting turned in the back of the rental. Telling no pressure, then man getting pressure. Be ran like medieval times, heads getting severed. Who's that looking all 10 out of 10? That's me staring back in the mirror.